we're going to move on to our 7th battle. We have the second tempo, led by Phoenix, playing for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. Currently in 5th place at 2-0. The mega of this team being the Mega Aggron at 2-0. The OU Pokemon is the Hatterene at 1-1, and the Torkoal at 0-1. For the UU Mons, we have the Rotom Wash at 1-0, and the Slitherwing at 2-0. For the RU, we have the Hisuian Lilligant at 0-1, the Shuckle, and the Kleavor. For the NU Mons, we have the Yanmega at 2-0, the Toxicity at 0-1, and the Overquill at 1-1. For PU, we have the Hisuian Braviary at 2-1, the Hisuian Avalugg at 1-1, and then we have the Hisuian Electrode and the Weirdeer. Their opponents for this week is the Brandon Bayleefs, led by Brody Ring, playing for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, currently 4th place at 2-0. Is this a battle between 4th and 5th place right now? Dang, these are a lot of wild battles, chat. The mega of this team being the Mega Scizor. For OU, we have the Rillaboom, and the Dragapult, who is at 1-1. The UU Mons, we have the Rotom Heat at 2-1, and the Durant. For RU, we have the Politoed at 0-1, the Fortress at 1-1, and the Chansey Gross at 4-0. I will always say gross to a Chansey. For NU, we have the Toxicroak, we have the Kingdra, and the Barraskewda at 3-1. I didn't do a chat. For the BU Mons, we have the Galarian Slowbro, the Ludicolo, the Magneton at 1-1, and the Frostmoth, not Frostlass. Let's go into the starting lineups of these two teams. For the second tempo, we have the Hatterene, the Mega Aggron, the Hisuian Braviary, which last week we proved to be terrifying. We have the Toxicity, the Overquill, and Overquill, right? That's not Quillfish. It's Overquill. And then we have the Kleavor. And for the Bayleefs, we have the Dragapult, we have the Fortress, the Rotom Heat, Politoed, Kingdra, and the Mega Scizor. Let's go into this battle. The second tempo is going to lead with the Kleavor, the Furioso Kleavor, and the Bayleefs are going to lead with the Fortress. The close combat is going to do a critical hit and do just a little bit of chip damage to the Fortress here, though, with the Stealth Rock then being set up by the Fortress. And the swap from the Kleavor into Crescendo, the Braviary, with the Gyro Ball doing some pretty decent damage to the Braviary, but not too much. And then the Heat Wave is going to take down the Fortress. I did not know that Braviary got Heat Wave. Dragapult then is going to come in, and the Phantom Force is going to be used with the Power Herb Phantom Force. Terrifying, taking down the Braviary with Kleavor coming back in. The Night Slash is going to outspeed and take down the Dragapult. That's a fast as heck bug. Scizor is going to come in and going to Mega Evolve here with a Bullet Punch, going to obviously outspeed and take down the Kleavor. The brothers Scizor and Kleavor. Hatterene comes in. The swap from the Scizor into the Politoed to set up the Drizzle. With a Mystical Fire, it's going to hit and reduce the special attack of the Politoed. But the Eject button is going to swap in the Kingdra. Interesting. We swap from the Hatterene into the Toxicity, Fortissimo the Toxicity. I love the music names. The Hurricane is going to land, do some pretty good damage, and get the Confusion onto the Toxicity. The swap from the Kingdra into the Rotom Heat, though, and the Overdrive is going to be a resisted hit, do some pretty decent damage, though, and Throat Spray is going to boost the special attack of the Toxicity. The Overheat, though, is going to do some pretty good damage, but not quite take down the Toxicity because of the rain. But the Confusion is going to take down the Toxicity. Staccato with the Overquill is going to come in. And Swords Dance to boost its attack by 2 times. With a Will-O-Wisp is going to neutralize that right away. The rain is going to fade, though, with the Volt Switch being used, doing a little bit of chip damage and swapping the Rotom into the Mega Scizor. With a Liquidation hitting the Scizor, doing some pretty good damage. And the Crunch is going to do some good damage to the Scizor. Not super a lot, though, with a Sword Stance then being used by Scizor. Absolutely terrifying here. The Bullet Punch is going to obviously outspeed. It's going to take down the Overquill. With the Hatterene then coming in, the Bullet Punch is going to outspeed and take down the Hatterene with just the Aggron left. The Mega Aggron is going to evolve with the Roost being used by the Scizor to bring its HP back up, but the Earthquake can do a little bit of chip damage to the Scizor. Another Roost is going to bring the Scizor up to full HP, but the Body Press is going to do a little bit more chip damage here to the Scizor. Another Sword Stance being used by the Scizor with 3 times attack with the Ice Punch is going to be a resistant hit, banking on the Freeze, but the Freeze is not going to happen. Another Sword Stance. The Ice Punch is going to hit, be a resistant hit here, and the Roost is going to bring the Scizor back to full HP. The Ice Punch is going to hit again, be a resistant hit. Still no Freeze though. The Bullet Punch does barely anything here. The Ice Punch. We're gonna keep punching each other. Bullet Punch and Ice Punch trading back and forth. But the Bullet Punch is doing more damage here than the Ice Punch is doing to the Scizor. So the Bullet Punch leaving the Aggron at just 3 HP. The Ice Punch hitting. Looks like no Freeze though, for the Bullet Punch then taking down the Aggron. I was ready for a boxing match. You are so right. That was so funny. Good games from both teams. Mega Scizor, absolutely terrifying. But good games to both of you here.